I love, love, love this problem because it really shows you how kind of tricky the logic can be. The logic in this question is pretty tough. Okay, so let's try to break it down. People should not be praised for their virtue if they lack the energy to be something. Now, the first idea we have to notice is they lack the energy. So just keep that in mind, because to me that kind of sounds like they're lazy. Okay? In such cases, goodness is merely the effect of. Now, notice this "the" right here. Okay? Typically, the article "the" will signal that this idea has already been talked about. And what they're talking about before is you lack the energy. Okay? Just keep that in mind. You lack the energy. Now, let's actually create our own example here. So let's say you come to my house and you're like, yo, do you want to rob a bank with us? Okay? And I'm like, nah, Game of Thrones is on. Should you praise me for not robbing the bank? What do you think? Should you praise me for that? Did I do a good thing? Or did I only choose to not rob the bank with you guys because I'm distracted by something else? I didn't say to you, hey, that's wrong. I didn't call the police. I didn't do anything like that. The only reason I'm not going with you is because I lack the energy or I'm just lazy. I'm just sitting at home watching Game of Thrones. That's what this sentence is saying. So people should not be praised for their virtue if they lack the energy to be bad. In such cases, goodness is merely the effect of laziness. Right there. Now, the reason I know laziness is because of the word lack the energy, or the phrase lack the energy. So one thing you could do is really just eliminate anything that doesn't include this idea of laziness. And really the only one that includes laziness is this one right here, indolence. So you don't even really need blank number one here. You can keep it to confirm, but you don't really need it. Effortlessness does not mean lazy. This means something is easy for you, so it doesn't mean lazy. So it looks like the answer is going to be C right there. Now again, I love this question just because the logic is so tough and so great, because they kind of flip it on its side, right? People who don't do bad things, we typically praise them for their virtue. But what if they're not doing the bad thing for a bad reason? In this case, laziness. Or in the example I created, Game of Thrones is on. So the correct answer is C. A very, very cool question, very tough, very tricky. But the correct answer, as you can see, is C. Now, if you want a shortcut, remember, these sentences typically reuse ideas. They reuse ideas, okay? So some of the ideas we're talking about are goodness, and we're talking about lack the energy. Lack the energy is right here, and this right here is the opposite of goodness. So I'm not saying that strategy always works, but if you're kind of like really struggling, you can kind of take that approach and just look for synonyms and antonyms of the ideas being discussed.